how good are you at giving feedback? And what if I told you that the skills of giving feedback and receiving feedback are among the top most important communication skills for you with yourself, with your family members, your loved ones, within your organization, your coworkers, and your colleagues? For me personally, I can remember for most of my life, I was not very good at giving feedback. And when I say that, what I mean is that even when people would actively request feedback from me, I would hold back. And I don't know if you can relate with that, but for me, I thought that I guess I had a bunch of frames of reference where I would give someone feedback even when they asked for it, and then later on they would have some sort of a retribution. So they would get a little bit passive aggressive or stonewall me, or you could just tell that something wasn't the same, something wasn't right after you told them, after I told them my truth. And so I kind of learned this habit to hold back, to not share feedback when people would request it. And now, we've got some feedback in the system in the speakers over there on this live video. But anyways, I think a lot of people have those kinds of experiences where we have a bad experience giving someone feedback, and so we hold it back. And another interesting dynamic with that is, so we hold it back, we hold it back, we hold it back, until then one day we get angry, and all of a sudden we unload on someone, and because of this, and you do that, and you did this, and now all of a sudden, well, not only not now all of a sudden, not only do we give feedback from a state of anger or frustration, or really a not resourceful state, but then think about the person on the receiving end of that. So now the person on the receiving end of that, they learn that people giving feedback is dangerous. It can cut like a knife, it hurts. And so, well, a lot of times we learn then, well, I probably shouldn't give people feedback, and I should hold back because I might hurt them. So, well, one of the things in this video that I want to do, first of all, is share with you a couple of tips on how you can give feedback more effectively. And then at the end, what I'm going to do is I'm going to request your feedback for me. And so I am open and honest. I'm open to your honest and open feedback, so that I can learn and grow. And that's another thing about feedback, is that when delivered properly and when received properly, feedback is it's like the rocket fuel for accelerated growth. It's the rocket fuel for accelerated learning. So one of the tips for giving feedback effectively, and the first one is to first of all let the person know and ask them if they're open to receiving feedback. So, hey, are you okay? Are you open to receive this feedback from me? And when you do that, you really need to use your NLP, neuro-linguistic programming calibration skills, to read their nonverbal communication, because even if they say yes, they may be saying yes with their mouth, but their body might be saying, I'm not so sure about this. And so really to check in with them and request, is it okay for me to give you some feedback right now? And also to let them know your intention, and also to come from that intention, that my intention is to help you to learn and to grow and to improve as a person, and to improve our relationship. So let them know your intention, make sure they're open, and check that they're in the right state. And another tip would be to make sure that you're in the right state to give feedback. And for you it might be different than for me, but when I'm giving people feedback, one of my best states is a caring and supportive state, that I am here to help this person to grow. I want to give them a gift of my truth that will allow them to grow and to become a better version of themselves. So there's a little bit of tips about giving feedback. Number one, make sure they're in the right state for it. Request from them if it's okay, and to really calibrate them to see whether or not they're really okay or not. And then to make sure that you're in your best state for giving feedback. And then I guess the last tip would be to separate the person from the behavior. So never give feedback to the person about themselves. You are this, you are that, but you did this, you did that, and this is what I'm seeing you do, which now helps to separate them from their behaviors, because they, upon receiving feedback, hopefully are open to the capability of growing. So I hope you found these tips valuable. What I'm going to request from you now is some feedback for me. And I have a couple of feedback questions here for you. And I'm really open, and I welcome your feedback. I know a lot of my students say that, when I request feedback, sometimes they used to hold back, but now that they got to know me, that I'm totally open. And my first thing is, what's something that I'm doing well? What's something that I've done well to support you in your journey of growth, of applying coaching skills and communication skills and NLP skills and neurosemantic skills? What's something I've been doing well? Number two, what's something I could do better for you? I received a comment on my Reddit page the other day from a follower saying, hey, you need to upgrade your microphone. I'm an auditory digital learner and I would improve a higher sound quality. And so I got a better microphone. And a lot of times these sorts of little feedbacks that we kind of hold back, we don't say because the content creator isn't requesting it. And so I'm actively requesting it. What's something I could do better to serve you? Anything that you give me is good. Be honest, be open. I prefer that you say something and be blunt, or say something than not. And so I encourage you to do that. And lastly, what topics would you like to hear more from me about? I'm very open to your input and feedback, and I love to learn and to hear what I could do to better serve you. What would you like me to teach upon? And so if you could answer those three feedback questions, I would really appreciate it. It would be a wonderful gift to me to help me to grow so that I could better serve you. And I hope that you, as you move out into the future after watching this video, you become a little bit better at your skills of giving feedback from a place of caring and loving support. And if we all were able to do that, that the world would be just such a more comfortable, happy, and self-actualizing place.